Hello and welcome to the OMFL Atlanta Falcons review. I am your host, Mike Fleury, and this episode we discuss Week 4 against Houston. Little note off the top: if you've noticed a difference in audio quality or loudness, I've noticed that in the editing process. I am recording these on my phone with a voice recorder for the foreseeable future, mostly because I tend to have more time during the week at work to record them. I can always find a quiet place to tuck away for a minute or two to at least start and just kind of record them in small chunks. And I'm at work more than I'm at home most of the time. So I've been recording these that way, especially since I'm doing them episodically, and I'm probably going to end up doing 17 of them, I guess, now. And 17 highlight videos, which only still count for 200 points, so I'm going to have to write some articles. It's a whole thing. So anyways, if you've noticed and it doesn't sound great, I apologize. I haven't actually listened to any of the episodes I've recorded this way, so I'm going to have to at some point, but for now, this is the best way for me to do it, unless I change back to the way I was, which was every 3 weeks or so. But for now, I'm trying to stay ahead and do episode to episode, since I have to do so many highlight videos anyways. It just makes sense to put them all together, and the episodes are considerably shorter. Anyways, as I said, this week is Houston. Houston's 3-0 right now. I've watched some of their gameplay. Their defense is incredible. Very good, very stingy defense. The offense is a lot of the same. It's very much a deep route offense, trying to get you every chance they can get. You have to watch DeMarco, but on the other hand, you also have to watch this other wide receiver he has. Name's escaping me at the moment. Another fast guy, not quite as fast as DeMarco, obviously, because 99 speed is not easy to replicate. But you do have to keep an eye on both of them. You have to run a lot of deep pass coverage. Trey Tucker is his name. You have to run a lot of deeper pass coverage, try to run things with guys over the top if you can, but he also runs a lot of drag routes underneath. This is not a complaint. This is just, I'm explaining his offense. A lot of drags underneath to try to make you come up so that he can send DeMarco or Tucker over the top. It's an incredibly effective offense. It's a lot of speed. You have to constantly be vigilant with DeMarco, and if you let him go one-on-one, you run the risk of him burning down the field and destroying your defense. I don't know if we have the speed to play DeMarco, so basically we're going to have to try to always have a safety somewhere over the top. I'm going to have to use the safety more than I'm used to try to give the safety a little extra depth, play them a little deeper. Even in cover 3, make sure the safety is playing deep so I can see where the deep routes are coming from. Is it Tucker? Is it DeMarco? And then try to get over to help make a play on those passes. Right now, DeMarco's got 299 yards. Tucker's got 243. Last season, DeMarco probably would have had 300 or 400, well, mid threes, late threes, 400. He would have taken all of those yards that Trey Tucker got. This season, he's using DeMarco a little bit more as a distraction, a diversion, putting him on the wide side and then having DeMarco cut up the seam. So, we just got to keep our heads, make sure we're playing good, solid defense. Offensively, just be efficient. Don't do anything stupid because he's got a lot of talent. I don't think he's got a great pass rush, but nobody really does. He does, though, have Derek Stingley Jr. He's got some good Pat Duke's corner. Carlton Davis is still pretty good. I don't know if he's regressed yet. 30 years old, so he's probably regressed a little bit. So, we're going to have a hard time. I know he's also got like a massively good safety. I don't remember the guy's name. Damon Stake, I think. I want to say it's Damon. Yes, it is. He's got X Factor, which doesn't matter as much now. But 93 overall. Really, really good ball hogging safety. So we're going to have to really pay attention to where he is on the field at all time. He had 9 interceptions his first season. It's crazy good. We just got to be smart, play good football, and hope that this comes out in our way. So we'll jump into the game, and I will be back in a second. That game was exactly why people hate All-Pro. It didn't feel like this. Not at the beginning. Not in the first 2 seasons. I played in the AFC South. I've played Roger 4 times already. It did not feel like this. Actually, I think I played him 3. I think he was at the hospital for 1 or sick or something. Either way, it did not feel like this. Be it the slider change or not having abilities on, or there was an update apparently in between the seasons, maybe all 3. Something about this feels wrong. I was against the change to All Madden originally, more because we had come off 2 pretty successful seasons. The game felt fine at the time, and I was concerned that if we changed it mid-cycle, it could cause more problems. Teams that had spent 2 seasons building up bad teams were going to be in a situation where if All Madden changed the way their team played, they had already used 2 seasons of bullets, probably traded all of their tradable players, used all their draft picks. They wouldn't be able to adjust quickly, whereas good teams will have good players and all their picks available to just trade as they want to adjust their lineup to however All Madden plays. And I thought it would just create a second level of disparity between the teams that have a good roster off kick and the teams that, didn't, for lack of a more exceptional term. What we found was the game played good. Passing was a little harder. Defense played better. We threw more interceptions, fewer touchdowns. But overall, it felt good. Run game was a little worse, but the games were still close. I made the playoffs the first 2 seasons under All-Pro. I missed under All Madden by 1 game, but still, 9-8, I missed. Going back to All-Pro, I was cautiously optimistic that it would still play pretty well. And it doesn't. What we found is that it doesn't. Something has changed. In the first 2 seasons, people complained that DBs didn't play the ball very well. And what I saw when I looked at the replays were that if the defender was behind, they wouldn't always reach up to try to pass defend, which I thought was actually good because I was sick of DBs being 3 to 5 yards, behind chasing the play. Maybe not 5 yards, but like 2-3 yards behind and just sticking a hand up. And for some reason, they managed to get a piece of the ball. That was a big problem under Madden 24 and before. So having them not be able to just make plays when they're beat was good to me. We didn't see too many instances. There were the occasional one, but we also saw it a little bit under All Madden still, where the DBs would just overrun a play or would not react to a ball. We saw it a little more under All Pro than we did All Madden. All Madden was a little bit better in this regard, but All Pro, it wasn't happening often. I found, at least for me and the games that I played and the games I watched, DBs tended to play the ball when they were with the play or even in front of it, they would play the ball fine. They've stopped doing that. This game against Roger, I was game planning to take away the deep ball. I never didn't have somebody in position to make a play. And for whatever reason, he managed to get 3 deep balls, come down with them. One was a touchdown, 2 led to touchdowns, and he wins the game despite throwing 3 interceptions. Should have been 4. There was one that went between a corner, safety, both of them trying to jump it. It kind of went between them, or so what looked like it happened is it went behind the safety coming down. He jumped too soon. Behind the DB going upfield, he jumped too far and hit DeMarco in the back and fell to the ground. Should have been a 4th interception, which would have been a pick 6, which would have been a game ender. Plus a fumble. He had 4 turnovers in this game, and he still wins because he gets 3 deep balls that should never have happened. He rode my DB like the guy was a horse and he was playing Red Dead 2. Or my DBs just didn't acknowledge that passes were in the air, and we saw a little of that under All Pro to begin, and we saw a little bit under All Madden. But 3 in one game is ridiculous, and it's why he won. His defense was great, stopped my run game, did pretty good at keeping my pass game contained, kept my offense fairly well contained. I think I had 20 points. But he should not have had a chance to win this game, and he wouldn't have if not for these ridiculous lob streaks. And it's not like he's changed his game. Roger plays the same way in All Madden, All Pro, doesn't matter. He's going to do the same thing. And when you game plan to stop that one thing, and he can still do it because the game says, whatever, and we're a no-switch league, so you can't even, click on and make a play, it's incredibly frustrating. That should have been a win for me. I should be 3-1 going into Carolina. Now I'm 2-2. If I lose to Carolina, I got Minnesota right after. I can be 2-4 and have my season completely shot because some lob streaks got caught that really had no business being caught. And it's just incredibly frustrating. It's one of those games that kind of makes you think, maybe I could be doing something else with my time. Nate says it a lot in his streams, and I couldn't help but agree with him. It was a... As I said, I would have voted against changing mid-cycle because of everything that could go wrong. But once we did and we found out that it actually was good, I don't like that we changed it back. I don't understand why we changed it back. It worked. All Madden worked. It worked as intended. It felt well. There weren't many people complaining. I don't understand what happened and why we're here now. And it's just frustrating. And this game was frustrating. And nothing Roger did. Roger played, as I said, great defensively. His run game was really good. But he should have lost the game by 20 points by the end of it. those lob streaks should never have been caught. My DBs were in position. They didn't get blown past. They were in position to make plays, and they just didn't for no reason, and it's frustrating. So that's how I lose this game. And it sounds like I'm being salty, and maybe I am. I don't really care what it sounds like. It didn't play well. I'm not going to pretend like it played well and give him all the credit because he won, and then in games that I win, be like, now I can talk that the game's played bad. The game played bad in all 4 games. It didn't play right. I didn't love how All Madden started last cycle, but it felt like it got better over time. Everything adjusted and it felt good. This feels bad to start, and I don't know how you change lob streaks just being like it's Madden fucking 15. So maybe it'll get better over time, but this felt really cheesy. It felt really just kind of bad to play. So hopefully it gets better. Like, All Madden really kind of grew on me, and it kind of adjusted over time, and it felt a little better as the season went on, and then it felt really good by the end of it. Maybe this will. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to cut this video off. Next week is Carolina, so I'm going to get to that for the OMFL Atlanta Falcons review. I am Mike Fleury, and I may or may not be back next time.